next one say, okay, well, I'll come back at the end of next month, and then 2 months, whatever, so that you get a circuit set up, and that's hard to set up, but that's the way I did it in the '90s, and it worked fairly well. It was just hard to find the places that paid the best, and the places that were always the best to play, you never got paid. You rarely got paid. Once in a while you get paid, but you never got paid much. $100, 100, $150, that kind of thing, if they would pay you, just because they could get. Well, to give you an idea, I've been on, not at the same time, but on stages where bands like Moist, Glass Tiger, Killer Dwarfs, Megadeth, Yngwie's played on. I've been on the same stages as those guys, and many other, Slick Toxic. Who else was in there? Black Crows. The list goes on and on. Headstones. I played on stages that those guys have played on. But the difference was they got paid, I didn't. Again, it wasn't at the same time. It's just these were venues that could get those kind of bands, right? They would get they had Megadeth on it. yeah. I played on a stage that Megadeth played on. It was Barrymore's, and in Ottawa, and I played on that stage back when they used to have the big stage that was like 60 feet long or whatever, because there's an old amphitheater, right? And we got paid. Well, I played on that stage a couple of times. I think the first time we got paid like $80. Second time, I think we played for free. I come to think of it, I think we only got paid there once, and it was just because we were the opening act for a bigger band that paid us. So the bar didn't pay us at all. So it was just kind of like that. And most of the smaller acts, like the bars, won't do pay at the door, because it's like, we have to charge a cover for you guys, and you don't have a big enough following. We're gonna lose money, because not enough people are gonna show up, right? So there's always that. So you got to know where you're playing. You got to know your audience. You got to know what you can get away with. But I think, because everything is, everybody wants everything for free, and that's what it costs you. It costs you less live music. But that said, there is a lot of places you can play. You just have to really dig to find them. Learning who people are. Like, even if you, because you don't want to bug people, because it's so easy to tick people off, especially musicians. Like, oh, you're a promoter for this. Hi, my name's here. Here, you want? Here's my CD. You know what I mean? And nobody takes CDs anymore, right? I remember one guy. He was actually quite smart how he did it. He had a CD. Instead of trying to sell it for $20, he sold it for $2. He made no money off of this, but he got a CD out there, and he was really good. I remember I used to see him at the jam nights all the time, and I might have even jammed with him once. Couldn't remember his name, but I do remember it was a clever way he did it to promote himself. So he took the hit. And then I remember what Mark Holcomb said. Well, here, we'll switch the guitars. Mark Holcomb was saying, he's got Periphery, and then he's got the Haunted Shores bands, right? And the thing he said, and it made a lot of sense, was, don't focus on the money at first. Focus on building the fan base, so that when you play a show, people come out and see you. You know what I mean? And I think that is probably the energy better spent, is just building the fan base, getting really good, promoting yourself. The easiest way to promote yourself, I think, is through videos. It's just the easiest way. Because if you can get AdSense or something like that, I don't know about how Vimeo does it, but I know for YouTube you can do the AdSense. And you're playing your own music, you copyright everything, and you do whatever you got to do. You and your band, you record the best video you can, even if it's just a cell phone or something like that. Just try, do as many takes to get the best sound you can get. I know not easy with lack of equipment. I mean, I don't get great sound with the GoPros, but you do your best, right? And even if you have to pay somebody to film you, get the song down perfect, and get somebody to film you live. It's like, okay, we can't find a venue to play, fine. Play live at your buddy's place, whatever. Set up a little area, like a stage. Make it live in the studio, the way the Rolling Stones did it, or Iron Maiden. A lot of Iron Maiden stuff is live in the studio, and they still do it to this day that way. I'm sure there's a lot of editing and stuff like that, but you get what I'm getting at. That you give a really good performance, and then maybe if you do like a jam night or something like that, where or an opening act for somebody. Okay, you don't get paid for that show, but film that show as if it was the biggest thing on earth. You know what I mean? Make yourself 10 feet tall when you're only 3 feet tall. You know what I mean? And a lot of that is just how you market yourself. Like, I mean, don't lie. Don't ever try to promote yourself to be something you're not. There was a guy who did this a couple of years ago. I can't remember. I made a video about it where he faked having millions of followers, and the way he edited his video, it looked like he was playing these big stages and all that, and he was really just recording everything in his room. And then when everybody else found out he was a fraud, well, he shot himself in the foot, right? Or what do you call it? It's like the guy from Jackass, the little midget guy kicking Stevie-O, or not Stevie-O. What's the name of the mini man there? Kicks himself in the head. A little midget kicking himself in the head. He basically did that to himself, right? So you don't need to do that stuff. You can't cheat to get ahead in this. Your fans are what's gonna make you or break you, right? But that said, why are you doing this in the first place? Is it just to get famous? Is it just to make money? If you never make it big, do you give up? I mean, how many guys have been through, or girls, or whatever, been through bands where it's like, if I don't make it by this date and time, that's it, I give up. And I'm like, well, are you a musician or are you not? If someone had told me, Reg, no one in the world will ever hear another note you play, but you can play all you want. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, why? Because I love music first. I love being the guitar player first, I have fun with it. I'm having fun with the drums. Like, this to me, like, I'd love to be able to have it fund itself. And you might find it funny, but, and this is the phenomenon of a lot of musicians. With YouTube and stuff like that, for example, right now, there's AdSense on this video. So my musical tools are going to be making me money in this video, even though I'm not really playing. I can't tell you the AdSense. So there's we can't talk about how much you make or whatever. I'm not making that much, but you never know. It could go viral, right? If the video goes viral, then I make money off of that. So a lot of guys, started doing gear reviews. Okay, I'll buy something. 50,000 people will watch it, and it'll pay for. Here's this little product here. I'm not sponsored, but here, I'll tell you all about it. Or this guitar, next thing you know, a couple of months later, the guitar paid for itself, if you're lucky, So there's some guys that get away with that, but most guys not going to get away with it. Why? Because, again, you have to build the following and all that. But then they get stuck into that online world of musicianship where the upside is they don't have to leave their house to make any money. You know what I mean? Like, basically, their room is their stage. You know what I mean? The equipment is the show. So that is another way to do it. But what if you're an actual, musician? You want to play it. Like the guys like myself. I got all these great guitars, and I don't have the whole band. I have everything for a band, but I don't have the whole band or a place for a whole band to jam, whatever. Maybe, hopefully soon that'll change. I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's hard to get musicians together. But I can record myself, I can make videos, I can do all that stuff. And again, as the weather gets nicer, I'm going to be, yes, there'll be low budget at first. Work with what you got. If you got cheap GoPros, use cheap GoPros. If you have a cell phone that's cheap, use it. Make your video, but try to make the best you can with it, right? And when you do that, then write your song and, put everything to the song. So that might get you going. So then people just, you're trying to create a song that people listen to more than once, right? And whatever. And even if you have to spend a bit of money to do that, to make a really good video. Like, there's a video I got, the whole concept of the triple hammer stuff, which is going to be only one drummer, obviously, one 8-string guitar, 7-string guitar, drop C guitar. It's like a triple album. Think of it like kind of like a Pink Floyd thing, but not sounding like Pink Floyd. This is going to be metal, very, like really, really heavy stuff. And one guitar. And the way it's going to be recorded, there's going to be no overdubs, nothing like that. It's going to be like live in the studio. And that's how I'd love to record it. Why? Because People say, oh, the guitar's not double tracked. Oh, it sounds so raw and whatever. I love it. You know what I mean? And then over that, you're going to see this kind of like story play out in the videos, which is going to be about 30 songs. And I've got most of them written and ready to go, um, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, Arena's Ghostly Tomb. That one, I got to find the actress for that one. And she has to be the perfect balance between clumsy and entertaining. Because poor things are going to happen to poor Arena in that Arena's Ghostly Tomb. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but it will involve a gigantic rock crushing her in the end. Yeah, yeah. But it's going to be very funny and entertaining. Who would want to see that, right? Don't worry, don't worry. It'll be a fake rock. Yeah, I gotta get a big foam, make a big giant foam boulder to throw on this poor girl, whoever she's going to be. Um, but the thing is a video like that, I know people would watch over and over again, and they would watch a whole series of that, right? And I think that would be really good. But before I can even get to that, I don't even have the budget for that yet. There's a whole bunch of other little songs that I got coming up. One, I'm just going to use footage from my motorcycle footage, basically road machine. That's probably going to be either the next song or the song after that I do next. And that song, when I make that video, the thing is I don't have to worry about synchronizing guitars and stuff like that. You might see me with the guitar a little